and I need to get off some of these marks that we had from our fenders and stuff like that. I'm just gonna take some elbow grease, but hey, look at that. All right, so today is Windlass Day, and guess who we have with us? One of my most favorite rum drinking friends.
Yarbidar!
We always talk about boat yoga. This is boat yoga.
Namaste.
Today is gonna kind of be a boring day, but yet still pretty eventful. So we're just gonna be washing the hull today, and I need to get off some of these marks that we had from our fenders and stuff like that. So I'm gonna be cleaning all that up and washing the hull this morning. And before we this afternoon, I'm hopefully gonna be done so I can start getting a good wax job on the hull, or polishing job on the hull. And then she should be looking like brand new, because she is a little nasty. So yeah, now that I'm making a clean spot, I'm gonna have to wash the whole thing. So that's kind of our rule. You make a clean spot on something, you gotta wash it. And then these drains, ugh. Yeah, so I'm gonna be cleaning all that out today. All right, so we got a lot of crud washed off, like unbelievable amount. She's already kind of shiny and looking nice, but there's a few little spots like this where we had our bumpers rubbing on it that I haven't really been able to get off with anything, including the Goo Gone and stuff like that. So I don't want to scratch the paint trying to scrape it off. What I'm actually going to try to use is our trusty old magic erasers. Let's see how they do. It's just a little bit of scrubbing, I'm sure, but I mean, oh wow, look at that, just with a magic eraser. That means I don't have to put any more chemicals on it. I don't have to scratch up the surface. Nothing. I'm just gonna take some elbow grease, but hey, look at that already, just with that alone. So wow, should be able to get all these little marks that are on the hull from our bumpers and stuff off. So that's gonna be freaking amazing. So I'm just gonna start cranking at it, and when I'm done with this, I can kind of rinse it off, and then I'm gonna start waxing. So make her all nice and pretty. So then tomorrow when we come in, we'll be getting ready to start doing our windlass wiring. I'm almost dreading it, but I'm super excited about it at the same time. So looking forward to Ben coming here and helping us out. So yeah, you can see where before, where we had Hank and we were dragging him along for a good time, and we had him way too low, that he was rubbing up against our letters. But that's something that I can fix. But just look at that job, man. It's like nice and shiny. So I'm quite pleased with that. That's gonna turn out and look really beautiful. So hopefully the rest of her will shine up just as nice and be just as smooth, because you can feel the difference. Like right here on the part that I waxed, and then the part that I didn't, it's just rough and then glass. All right, with some hard work, some elbow grease, and some good product, we're able to get her nice and shiny. Look at that. That looks amazing. She almost looks like she has a new paint job. So we just so often have to keep up with this, and maybe run around on the dinghy and give her a nice buff, and keep her nice, looking nice. Make that paint job that we paid a couple years ago all worth it. Hey, what are you doing?
Well, because the child was dangling here in the davits. It constantly kept hitting, so it kind of wore out our sticker, So until we get the new ones, I am just gonna touch them up and with a Sharpie and reseal it, and just make it look pretty. So that's what I'm doing.
It's looking great. All right, so today is Windlass Day, and guess who we have with us? One of my most favorite rum drinking friends.
Yarby dar.
This is Ben. You guys remember him when we first did our solar upgrade. So we are pulling all this 1 AWG wire down.
Thanks to COVID, all they had was yellow and black. So the yellow is going to be ground and the black's going to be positive. Don't judge me.
So yeah, so we already ran it down through here. Ran it down back into our battery blocks. Down across the engine compartment. Over there where Ben is. And then we're feeding it down all the way past the galley. Down through here. We're going to have to go underneath the galley. Drilled our holes back in there. Underneath by the water tanks. Through our drawers. Through our wet locker. Through our other drawers. Through the V-berth. And then up to the windlass. So this should be a fun day. Good news is the hardest part was actually getting it through the galley. So luckily when I ran the fridge back in the day, I used my old IT skills and pulled a cheater cord through here. So I can pull my, use the cheater cord to actually pull each one of these through. So now we just have to pull all the cord through and hopefully we'll have enough. So yeah, thanks to Ben for making that trip all the way over from Tampa to Indiantown to help us out today. So probably not going to be videoing too much because we're both going to have our hands full. And Madeline's down there with his girl Jen doing a project on the where I repaired that weeping keel. So we already fiberglassed it over. All that's good. Leaks stopped, so that's good. And they're just painting it. So we didn't have the budget because of the stuff that got stolen for actual more bottom paint. Luckily the place here got some great people working here and they had some extra, so they just brought it over to us and they're like, hey, we noticed you said you were trying to do this, so here's a little bit extra bottom paint so you guys can do it. So it's hard. It's the hard epoxy, so it's gonna be really good. It's gonna last a long time and we don't have to worry about it. And it's not the right color, but that's what they're doing. They're making a nice little design downer on it. So we're gonna get busy because we don't want to waste too much of our time today because hello, Florida. Yep. Super windy. Looks like it's gonna rain, even though it's not. So it's Florida. So it's probably gonna rain somewhere, sometime, maybe. I mean, what'd they say? 50%, 40% chance of rain. So they're almost half sure that it's gonna rain somewhere today. So we're just gonna get this done as long as we have light and it's not too hot.
Little crevice, there you go.
So fun part about accessing things, Ben here had to take down part of our V-berth so that we could actually get up to where we need to get to up here to reach our windlass wiring so that we can put up the anchor. So I'm being more of a helper right now than anything else while Ben is putting on one of our post blocks down at the bottom. We always talk about boat yoga. This is boat yoga. So yeah, so we're finishing this front part up on the bow, and then yeah, next part is going to be the solenoid.
This is a reamer. When they called the drill bit police, this is what they said.
So since somebody stole all of our spare wire when they broke into the boat, we're having to use all the same color wire. So we're having to double check and triple check all of our freaking connections constantly with our wiring diagram that we have here. got some diesel cable management, which is things that we both love.
Agreed.
Love good wire management. All right, so now that everything is all wired up and everything like that, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna test this. We're gonna try to turn on the breaker and then go up and test it before we mount it to the inside of the boat. All right, so let's try to test this out. Let's see what happens.
Switch.
Let's hit our switch. Anchor up. Yeah, buddy. We had to take a lot of chain out, so this is gonna take a while.
Yep, it's gonna take a hot minute. All right, before you continue.
But hell yeah, we got it done, man.
Woo! Woo! Yeah, pound it.
Man.
Don't leave me hanging. Pound it. Don't leave me hanging. There we go. So while you're running that up, I'm gonna put a multimeter to the batteries and monitor their voltage.
Okay.
And let's see what it's drawing.
All right. If that's right, holy crap, we're gonna be ready to rock and roll. Since I'm up here in the anchor locker, I just took the chance to show you one of the things that we got that we had been waiting for a long time. So we had a problem with trying to figure out how to get the right snubber setup. So we did save a little bit of money, and we went ahead and bought us one of the Mantis hooks. So this thing is highly recommended. Hook it onto your chain, lock it into place, and then one and done. And then this holds your chain into the hook, and then you don't even have to worry about it. Let's see how she does when we're getting ready to actually pull up the anchor itself. Booyah! All right, today is cleaning and putting the boat back together. Ooh. It's a little overwhelming because every time you do a boat project, you have to take everything out of every hole. However, since we did such a major project, it wasn't just taking everything out of the lazarette or taking everything out of the V-berth. It was taking everything out of the lazarette, then taking everything out of there, and then taking everything out of there. It is completely full.
Yeah.
So, but we're gonna get started on just like we do everything else. It's like when people joke around, it's like, how do you eat a really big sandwich? One bite at a time. So we're gonna start at one end, work our way back, and that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So
Do it.
let's do
My
it.
favorite thing, organizing and cleaning.
But we're all done, and now it's just time to clean. So I'm gonna stop talking because it's gonna waste too much time of us actually cleaning before it decides to get hot, sweaty, smeltering, and probably rain because it's Florida.
Let's do it.
All right, so one of the things that we did while we were here in the shipyard was we had our water was just kind of sitting here in the tanks. We tried to use up as much as we could, and one of them was a little contaminated, so I just shocked it, flushed it, drained it, filled it, and drained it again. I hate wasting that much water, but we had to because it was all kinds of... So now it's all back nice and clear. So yeah, it had some it was just contaminated. So now I'm back to filling them back up, and we're gonna see how that goes, and then I'm gonna run it one more time just to double check and make sure. And yeah, just filling them up. So I'll test the water one more time before we go, and then now I just got the only thing we have left. This is already looking so much better. So I just have my 2 rags here. But yeah, so Madeline was able to really get in here and clean. We have our battens for our sails that we're gonna put back up. And yeah, everything cleaned up super freaking nice. So we're looking to launch maybe tomorrow or the next day. We may actually wait one more day so that we can kind of just do a thorough cleaning, put everything away where it belongs, and then we'll move the stuff from the van into here, and I'll take out the batteries and all that stuff and put in here as well, and swap those batteries back out that so that our son can use them when he's in the van. And yeah, that should be it. We should be we're here at the end. I knocked everything off the list except for the oil change in the child. I'm going to change the oil and inflate him up once we get back over there, put him all back together, get him up nice and running, and then yeah, we should be good to go. So fingers crossed, the engine will start, everything will run smooth, and I'll be able to go ahead and pump out the oil. One of the things I found when we were cleaning stuff out, oh, looks like we're full. I gotta go drain it.